Here in New York, jury selection begins this morning in the federal criminal trial of Sean Diddy Combs. Prosecutors accuse the former music mogul of abusing, threatening, and coercing people into what they say were elaborate and produced sex performances that were known.
Jury selection kicks off today in the trial for Sean Diddy Combs in federal court in New York, where he's accused of sex trafficking.
Breaking news is gripping New York City as Sean Diddy Combs, one of the most successful figures in the music and entertainment industry, faces an unprecedented and highly serious legal battle. This trial is not just about a celebrity. It shines a powerful spotlight on the darker, often hidden facets of fame, power, and abuse that can permeate the entertainment world. After decades of public acclaim and a career marked by both business success and controversy, Combs now stands accused of heinous crimes involving sexual abuse, trafficking, and violent coercion.
And it's amazing to me because that case was filed and 24 hours later, Combs settled it under confidential terms. But who cares? Once you e-file a complaint, all those allegations are out in the ether. And more likely than not, federal investigators, federal authorities saw those allegations, and that was the reason for this investigation. So in a sense, Cassie Ventura's, the allegations in her complaint are central to this case. We're going to see a lot of those same allegations.
The gravity of these allegations has captivated public attention worldwide, and the unfolding court proceedings promise to be among the most significant trials in recent history. The saga begins with a 17-page indictment that reads more like a law enforcement dossier on a criminal organization than a typical legal document concerning a music mogul. In it, prosecutors assert that Sean Combs leveraged the vast resources and influence of his entertainment empire to systematically exploit women over the course of approximately 20 years.
Critical. Cassie Ventura is one of several victims, victim 1, 2, 3. All of them will testify. The real question is, how anonymously will they testify? Will they use a little curtain? Will they use some technique? Will they kick everybody out of the court except the litigants? But absolutely, in addition to Cassie Ventura, there will be others who will testify. I know it's only because I believe Cassie Ventura wanted to be identified or didn't mind being identified. Otherwise, she'd have a name like victim 1, victim 5.
The indictment paints a disturbing picture of a star who allegedly presided over a scheme of sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy. Serious charges that carry the potential for decades-long imprisonment if proved beyond a reasonable doubt. According to prosecutors, Combs was not acting alone. The indictment describes a shadow network involving individuals from his entourage, as well as employees from his businesses. It is alleged that these accomplices facilitated his abusive activities by helping to recruit and control the victims, ensuring compliance through a mix of promises, threats, and violence.
He believes he's innocent. I believe he's innocent. And we're going to fight this case with all of our might until we don't have to fight anymore.
Women reportedly were manipulated into performing in what prosecutors call freak-offs, drug-fueled, highly sexualized events involving both male and female performers, described as performances arranged or overseen by Combs himself. One of the core elements of this prosecution is the claim that women were coerced and trapped in cycles of abuse by both manipulation and force. Prosecutors allege a pattern whereby Combs would offer potentially lucrative opportunities in music, modeling, or acting to women willing to comply with his demands. Conversely, those who refused or resisted faced being cut off from these opportunities and subjected to intimidation or violence.
Oh gosh, Julie, that's a hard question because it's going to be almost impossible to find a biased, impartial juror who does not know Puff Daddy, Diddy, Sean, whatever you want to call him. I'm thinking someone that is not going to be easily weirded out by some of the context of the materials that's going to be given to them as evidence.
The indictment contains shocking descriptions of beatings, kidnappings, and even arson, allegedly employed to maintain control and silence resistance. A particularly harrowing allegation involves a claim that Combs once dangled a person from a balcony. A vivid illustration of the extreme abuse of power, prosecutors say, was routine within his circle. Such accusations, if substantiated, portray a chilling level of brutality rarely associated with entertainment industry figures of such stature. These claims raise profound questions about systemic abuses of power behind closed doors and the lengths to which influential figures might go to protect their control.
Well, what I've just learned is I shouldn't have gone to law school because Holland nailed it without even having a law degree.
She did, I know.
I don't know what I've got to add. Yeah, I used to always tell people, you know, with our jury strikes that I was looking for just truly, this sounds cliche, but discerning jurors, and I agree with Holland. They're going to see and hear some things that, you know, they may have never been exposed to. Obviously, you know, to be truly fair.
Despite the serious nature of the charges, Sean Combs and his legal team have steadfastly denied all allegations, insisting on his innocence. Lawyers representing Combs argue that any sexual encounters were fully consensual and that there was no coercion or trafficking involved. They acknowledge that Combs is not without fault, citing past personal struggles, including drug use and toxic relationships, but firmly reject the characterization of his actions as criminal racketeering. They emphasize that group sex or performances that may have occurred were consensual activities, not the result of manipulation or force.
Oh, I'm gonna go right back to that original point. It's gonna be very hard to find someone that does not know who he is. So I think you're also in the state of New York. He's from New York, so maybe people that have a little bit more sympathy for him say, hey, this is just a lifestyle. This is what he did. Everybody was consensual. Someone that just thinks that this is what you do when you're a celebrity or when you're from a big city. I'm gonna think and hope that people will, like, as Pope said, not be discerning in this. This is going to be really tricky.
Jury selection began early Monday morning, kicking off what many experts predict will be an 8-week legal marathon filled with complex witness testimonies, expert analyses, and high-stakes courtroom drama. Judge Arun Subramanian presided over the initial proceedings, focusing on setting parameters for expert testimonies and outlining the rules of evidence that will govern the trial. The process of jury selection itself could span several days given the gravity and notoriety of the case, as ensuring impartiality in such a high-profile trial is crucial. The trial itself will likely be a landmark case that tests the boundaries and effectiveness of the legal system when confronting allegations that intertwine celebrity, sex trafficking, and organized abuse. The testimony is expected to include powerful and emotional accounts from women who say they were exploited, alongside defense witnesses aimed at casting doubt on the prosecution's narrative. Combs's legal history adds context to this trial and raises its profile further. Over the years, the hip-hop icon has faced a number of legal challenges, including allegations of violence and run-ins with law enforcement. In 2016, a security camera captured footage of Combs assaulting his former girlfriend, R&B singer Cassie, in a Los Angeles hotel hallway. Cassie, whose legal name is Cassandra Ventura, later filed a civil lawsuit accusing Combs of years of abuse, including beatings and rape. This lawsuit has added additional public scrutiny, with Combs denying all claims related to non-consensual acts. This current trial dwarfs previous incidents in scale and seriousness. Combs's past brushes with the law include a 1999 charge for assaulting an Interscope Records executive, an incident involving a nightclub shooting in 1999, where Combs was acquitted of all charges, and a 2015 assault charge involving a weight room kettlebell at UCLA that was dropped due to self-defense claims. None of these incidents, however, compare to the scope and severity of the sex, trafficking, and racketeering charges now facing him. For the public and the entertainment world, the implications are immense. If convicted, Combs could face multiple decades behind bars, a prison sentence that would dramatically alter his life and legacy. Conversely, an acquittal could also stir controversy, raising questions about justice, accountability, and the ability of the legal system to hold powerful figures responsible. This trial also touches broader cultural conversations about power dynamics in the entertainment industry, the handling of sexual abuse allegations, and the protection of vulnerable individuals from exploitation. In recent years, movements such as the Me Too movement have pushed for greater transparency and accountability for abuse by celebrities and executives alike. The Combs case thus serves as a litmus test for how those shifts in public consciousness and legal frameworks hold up in a complex, high-profile trial. As the trial progresses, millions will be watching closely. News outlets and social media will be abuzz with daily updates, analysis, and public reactions. Legal experts will dissect the evidence and testimonies while fans, critics, and the general public form their own opinions. This case demonstrates the intersection of glamour and grit, showing that even the biggest stars can face the full force of the law. In the coming weeks, expect intense courtroom scenes featuring powerful testimonies, extensive cross-examinations, and expert insights into the nature of coercion, consent, and organized exploitation. The defense and prosecution will battle fiercely to sway the jury, whose verdict will decide not only Combs' fate, but possibly set precedent for future cases involving entertainment industry abuses. Stay tuned to this channel for ongoing coverage of the Sean Diddy Combs trial. We will bring you the latest updates, expert commentary, and in-depth analysis as this explosive legal drama unfolds. The stakes have never been higher, the accusations never more shocking, and the outcome will resonate far beyond the courthouse walls. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay informed about every development in this landmark trial. The story of power, fame, and justice is unfolding now. Don't miss a moment.